Welcome back to the Deercast, everyone. In this week's episode, you're joining us as we're stalking into a group of Sunbathing Fallow Does. They were in this field to our left-hand side, sort of sunbathing, all lying down on this grass bank. The only real way to get into them was down this old track just inside the woodland, and essentially try to get parallel to them and then shoot back up into the hill. As you can probably tell by the state of the track, it was pretty noisy, so we really had to take our time doing it. Also, as with ever sort of stalking into a group of sunbathing fallow does, you've got ears and eyes everywhere, so every little bit of movement and sound could have potentially given us away. You'll just see a little white smudge to the left of that fence post ahead of us, and that is the group of fallow. At this point, they were all still laid down sunbathing, and I deployed the sticks thinking we may potentially get a shot because there was just about enough of a rising bank behind them, but actually sort of on second consideration realised that it just wasn't a safe enough backstop, so we decided to stay put for a little bit and see what the group ended up doing. So don't know whether it was just very good luck or whether we slightly spooked this group, but you'll see there the kind of lead doe, the big white doe, stood up and actually decided to start grazing away. The rest of the group soon followed suit, and again, amazingly lucky, they actually started grazing in the direction we wanted them to, which was sort of out towards us. And you'll sort of see from the lay of the land, it gave us a much better, clearer backstop as the ground sort of opens up or expands between us and the hedgerow. So the group continued to feed towards our right hand side, so back towards the woodland. The only slight inconvenience we had was the fence straight in front of us. Luckily the gauge of the wire was pretty big, designed primarily for cattle, so actually we had quite a nice big window to shoot through. These deer were probably only sort of 75 metres off, so at this distance, with the backstop we had presented to us, decided it was probably going to be a headshot on one of the front two does that were the furthest away from the group and giving us the best backstop. So there you have it. We were actually driving to another spot and came along a road at the bottom of this field and came across a group of fallow that were sat out sunning themselves. It's kind of mid to late January. We've got like -7 this morning, so funnily enough didn't head out stalking. And what that seems to have done to the deer's behaviour is they're not coming out at first light. They're not really coming out at last light. They're coming out at some point in between to try and get some warmth and get some sun on their backs. So this lot was sat out the bottom of this field sunning themselves. I saw as I drove along in the car heading somewhere else, and I thought, well, actually it's too good of an opportunity not to miss. So dropped into the top of this field, stalked down through this woodland here, and ended up taking a shot from the woodland. That's the deer. We've just dragged it out to there, but it was further round, sort of the other side of this bank basically, and we shot sort of pretty much across like that at it, parallel to that hedge you can see at the bottom. It was less than 100 metres, so I know slightly controversial, but took a headshot on it just because I find in those circumstances it's kind of easy and reliable enough to do. So that's another lovely fallow doe on the deck. We'll probably give you a little bit more of a briefing in a second,